Kuna note taker kwani? Do you have the note taker? Or where did you find the notes?
Olivia, na vile ulisema Yesu vizuri. Kuna kitu ulishare. Ile
No,
nini? Mm.
because I remember I inboxed each one of you.
Yes.
So with the link for the class recording for Wednesday. So that implies you haven't even gone through last class.
So was it about insert formula, data review, and view tab? Because I understand
No.
this one, I think I was present.
Yeah, that's when you were present. So it was about introduction to contact center and BPO environment. So that's what I shared last.
No, I do not have that.
Yeah, I shared that. So you should have access to that so that you can just go through. It's just like a foundation course in contact center, just to give you that background before we can just move forward to other things in details. I don't know whether Violet also you had a chance to go through or just receive the link.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. The workforce, it was more of workforce versus MIS, and the different types of contact centers.
Yes. Yeah, so for your reference, you can simply refer to those recordings just in case you missed anything. So today we are going to week two, which we intend to cover a lot of things. And also, I expect you to be very keen and also very attentive in this session. This is week two going forward because we are now going to delve into practicals most often because week one was just to give you a background or the foundation that is needed in order to tackle topics for week two, three, four, five, and six. So I believe for now you have the foundation and you are now ready to go to week two, whereby this week I think we will dedicate all our time to make sure we can cover as many things as possible that were meant to be covered in week two. So in week two, we aim to go through, we'll go through call center logs, CRM exports, and also tickets. And also, before we can delve into that, we want to look at at how you can format your data before you can begin even your analysis. So let me just share my screen so that we can cover in detail what we are supposed to cover today. So what you're seeing here, I hope my screen is visible from your end. So Olivia, this is what we covered last time regarding introduction to contact center and BPO environment. So this is what we covered, and it was really a very long topic. that provided the team with the fundamentals of what a contact center looks like and how does a contact center operate, the departments that you expect to find in a typical contact center. And then we delve into MIS and also WFM and how they interrelate with each other and also their importance in the business or in the call center. So today we will cover data formatting and alignment first before we can go to introduction to call logs and CRM exports and tickets. So whenever we talk about data entry, this is how you enter data. For instance, if you are using Excel, how you enter data in a cell. So it may sound very basic, but it lays the fundamental of the foundation of future on how we'll analyze our data and also how we will be able to achieve data accuracy whenever we are entering data in cells. So whenever we are working in a call center environment, so data that we can expect to get, we can expect call data as usual, that is the call logs. So we can expect to have QA data, that is from the QA department. We expect to have data like rosters and attendance report. Roster is simply a schedule, and also attendance reports. You might expect to also have appearance tracking data. So this is what you expect to find in a call center. And then you might expect data like daily performance report, and then productivity dashboard, and also WFM data. So it's important to know how you can format this data so that you can analyze it well. So assuming, let me just open my Excel here. So this is my Excel. So let's assume here I'm having agent name. Oh, sorry about that. Let's say we are analyzing calls handled, calls offered, calls answered, calls answered, maybe abandoned. Let's say AHP, which stands for average handle time. Let's say ASA, which stands for average speed of answer. So which other metric can you find in terms of calls? Let's say you have also login time. Let's say again, you have logout,
Production.
yes, production hours. Production. Let me just write hours in short. Available hours. Available hours. Let's say we have occupancy. Occupancy. So let's work with this first. So in data formatting, whenever you are entering data in cells, for instance, if it is agent name, let's say agent A, first agent is Fred, then let's say Olivia. So I'm just teaching you the best practice on how to do it because in a typical compensator environment, we can have data for agents, for example. But you'll find that whenever maybe you export this data or you import it from an ACD system, you might find that some agent names, they come uh, in a manner that isn't consistent. For instance, if we've decided we are going with two names or three names, so we shouldn't be having an agent having one name for consistency. Or let's say we have that agent called Frank. So you see, this isn't consistent, and we must decide on the also on the naming. So you have this agent called Eric. I want you to tell me what's the problem here. Uh, yes. So imagine you've exported data from an ACD system, and it looks this way. So what do you think is the problem with this data in terms of names? Let's start with you, Olivia.
Visually, it's not appealing because the formatting is very inconsistent. Small letters mixed up with capital letters. Also, some names, we have two names, we have initials. Yeah, the formatting is very poor.
That's good. That's a good attempt. Violet, what do you think also is wrong with this?
I can say same as Olivia said. First, using maybe one word and one name, sorry, one name. In others, you've used the three, and then the mixing of capitalizations and small letters. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's true. Whatever you've all said is right. So, what do you
And
think will be the implication of this for reporting?
can you also say, Fred, the arrangement in alphabetical order?
Not necessarily, but you can also, for it to be appealing, we can also arrange in alphabetical order, just to add on that extra look of the report. Yeah. So, what do you think will be the impact of this? Imagine, imagine this is just from the ACD system. Then you will have data from the CRM now. The data from the CRM, let's say it will be in sheet 2. So data from the CRM looks like this. Uh, let's say we have ticket number. Let's say we have name first, name, agent name. Then we have ticket, ticket number. Then we have ticket status, ticket status. Either ticket is closed, open, resolved. Alafu we have category or issue type or issue type, issue category and type. And then we have here is type instead of category. So that's how it looks like. Same agency. Yeah? This is this, let's say this is called data. Called data. This is ticket data. So in CRM data, names are coming like this. Even instead of starting my name from this my surname, that is my first name, I mean, starting from my surname. So when we look at now Olivia, now it's coming the full name, but it's reversed. Now Frank now is coming with two names. It's like that, just picking random names. Now Eric is coming the correct way, but now it's in proper case. Here, it's instead of now the name coming as Lucy W. Aweru, it's now coming as there's not that initial. See how that data is coming from the CRM. This now comes as the reagents. Very inconsistent. Now look at these two data sets. You are the reporting analyst, you are the MIS analyst, for instance. How will you make sure that your data is clean, your data is well formatted for reporting purposes? So normally in a call center environment, we get data from various sources. One source is the ACD system. Here we get the calls data. We have the CRM. CRM. This one you can get customer interactions data. And maybe in some companies we have the ticketing system, which it varies. So, for instance, when you hear uh, Icon, I don't think if Icon is a CRM system, but somehow looks like a ticketing system. And so here we get data for tickets. So same agents, their data is both in the ACD system, that is automatic call distributor system. It's in the CRM, and also it is in the ticketing systems as well. And you need to merge data from all these sources so that you can extract insights from them. How will you be able to achieve that? So that's why we are saying data must be consistent across. So I know one day you'll have an opportunity of working in an analytical role, not necessarily in a call center, or even it can be in a call center. You'll encounter such a data set. Yeah, for instance, here an agent call, let's say Lucy. You'll find also we have Lucy again with one name, and all of these have data. It's the same Lucy Waweru, but also it's Lucy with one name. So here you'll find handled 10 calls, and then here handled 20. That is, he offered 20, Hobart 20, offered 10, handled, let's say 15, handled 8. So abandoned 2, abandoned 5. AHT, let's say AHT of 3 minutes and 15 seconds. But let me just use numbers: 240 seconds, 300 seconds. Here 20 seconds, 15 seconds. Log in time, let's say it's 8:15, something like that. So this one can be same. Logout time can be the same. And then let's say production hours is 9. Production hours, like that. So this is just an example So you'll encounter such a data set. And if you proceed with your reporting without paying close attention, you might end up reporting this as two separate individuals or two people who are different, yet it is still the same person. So, what is the end result? Your report is inaccurate simply because you did not do what is called data cleaning in your data. So it erases the authenticity of your report because the data is not consistent across. So reporting Lucy Waweru had 15 calls handled alone and 8 calls for Lucy as two separate people doesn't make sense if it is the same person. So rule number one, whenever you are dealing with names, make sure the names are consistent. So if it's two names, let it be two names and not one. If it is three names, you can have agents with three names. That's acceptable. But it should be consistent across. If it's, for instance, Lucy W. Wawero, right? So it should be the same across all the data in this column wherever we have Lucy. And also, when it comes to the tickets data, Lucy, if we say we are using Lucy has three names, that is the one with the initial and the last name. So even coming to the tickets data, that should be the norm. This should apply there as well. So we should always avoid people having one name because it can create confusion in that we can have more than one agent with the same name. So you might end up having duplicates in your data. So make sure we avoid use of one name, and then names should be always be consistent across. Hope you've learned the importance of having consistent names in your data. Hope makes sense, Olivia and Violetta.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because Olivia, I know you might be encountering this on a day basis. For instance, you can go to the CCS. Let me use that as an example. You find an agent only has one name. And then you find the same agent has two names. And then, or even has three names. Do you know if you proceed with your data analysis from that point? So your report will end up being inaccurate. It won't paint the true picture of that agent's performance. So when you are dealing with names, first make sure they are descriptive, no use of one name, and then the names that you are using, do not mix them. Always, it is advisable names should be in proper form. So we have three forms whenever you are dealing with data. And when you are dealing with names specifically, we have three forms. It can be either in lowercase, it can be in uppercase, and it can be proper. So lowercase, it means the names are in small letters. right? Hope that's the correct term. Then uppercase, it means the names are in capital letters. And then proper, it means it is capitalizing the first letter of each name. And there is a way to achieve that. For instance, if you see here, like the names, how they are here, when you want to change this to lowercase, you say is equals to lower. So lower is a function in Excel that converts all letters in a text string to a lowercase. So when we say it's equals to lower, then the reference cell is A3. So you'll see what happens. It will change that name to small letters. So you can simply drag this down to autofill. So this is what we mean by lowercase. And it is achieved in Excel using the function lower. So whenever you want to change a name from uppercase to lowercase or from proper to lowercase, you use the function lower. It is a function in Excel, yeah? That is a text function. So it's a text function in Excel that enables you to transform the text into a lowercase. So if, for instance, you want to transform this to uppercase, we have a function in Excel called upper. So is equals to upper. Then the reference cell is this. So you can see this has been changed to uppercase. Say this has been applied. So everything is in capital letter. And how have we achieved this? By using the function up. So one thing in Excel, just before we move on, whenever you are dealing with formulas or you want to type a function, always begin with an equal sign. You see, everything here is starting with an equal sign. Always equal sign in any formula. Always start with an equal sign. So if I want, let's proceed. If we want now to capitalize each letter of a word, we use the function proper. So we have an Excel function called proper. And you can see here, when you type proper, there's this drop down that just pops up. So that lets you know that that function is available in Excel. So you type is equals to proper. So proper, like that. See this proper, you can now see it has capitalized the first letter of each word in this name. So what is the best practice? So the best practice is we must always use the proper case when we are dealing with names. So dealing with names, it's advisable we use the proper case. So in our case, here we use proper in order for us to achieve consistency in the names. So let me simply copy this. Just those values here. So here there is no single name. The names are consistent, capitalizing each word, first letter of each word. Then we also see, also in the naming convention, there's no mix-up of capital, small letters in between the names. So it's just like that. And this is very clean. So whenever you're dealing with this, and let's suppose also in course data, you have this. So you must make sure the names which are here are also matching uh, what is here. That is, your data should always have that consistency. And the reason why I'm saying that is in some context, you might want to reference data from this sheet, let's say tickets data. And the common denominator between these two data sets, is the agent name. So if the names are not consistent, between these two data sets, you can be able to reference data in this sheet or in both sheets. So it's ideal that whatever is here uh, matches whatever is in this column as well, not necessarily in that order, but the convention, the naming rules should be the same. So let's do that. So we have, just for consistency, let me simply copy this and put it here. So if, for instance, I want to, so this is the course data sheet. We say the common denominator is agent name. Have the tickets data. The common denominator here is also the agent name. So assuming we have these columns here, or suppose we have this, we have ticket number, ticket status, issue type, issue category. So let's say here we have open, closed, in progress. In progress tickets. Let's say we have resolved and closed. So you want to reference this, ticket status, and you are in this sheet. So let me add here a ticket status column. So if I have a ticket status column here, it means for me to be able to refer to data in this sheet, we must have something in common. So the common thing is the agent name. So you see, if I use VLOOKUP here, in order to reference to this data. So it implies if the names are not consistent, then I want to be able to get the ticket status on this sheet, on this column here. See? So when we look up this name from this sheet. So if the names don't match, it will return NA here. So there are these errors that normally are there in Excel, NA, ref error, or even a ref error again. Instead of giving you the ticket status, this is what you will be getting. And the source of the problem is that the names are not consistent. Hope you now understand the importance of having consistency when you are dealing with text, especially names. Are we together up to that point?
Yes. So, Fred, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter the arrangement of the names as long as they're just the same
Yeah.
arrangement is. It doesn't matter if Fred is the first one on the
Yes,
column data.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Fred here can be, let me just, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
It can be this way. The arrangement doesn't matter. So long as we have that consistency. Hop on the same page up to that point. So
Yes.
what I've just discussed is what is here, and it's calling that's called how to set up your data in a table. So suppose you have these columns here: agent, staff ID, all those columns. Suppose you have them here. That's what you have. You have those columns. Again, why do you think you should have column headers in your data set? So that's one important thing also we should always remember to have. So you should be having something like this. Here, yes, you are having agent names. It's very important. I mentioned this. There are no column headers. Yes, you are having staff IDs. You are having staff IDs, yes. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when you have such a data, what do you think can be the problem? Any attempt? You just have names here, and then this is IDs. No column headers. What can be the problem? Only the any attempt? You're just having here's data here, and you do not have the column headers. So just to highlight, if you don't have an idea about that, Whenever you are having data and there is no column headers, first of all, you won't be able to know the type of data that is contained in these cells. So remember earlier I had talked about data types. So without column headers are like our variables. So we don't know which variable is this. We don't know which variable is this. So adding a label or a column name, it enables us to identify the type of variable that is contained in these cells. So remember here, this is agent name. Yes, whenever I see now agent name, I know this column represent agent name and the data type is string. String because it is a text. So we'll cover about data types, don't worry. So we have various type of data types. So whenever we identify or we name columns, it enables us to know the type of data type that should be in those cells in that column. This is staff ID. Right? So always again, whenever you are having column headers, make sure they are visible enough. Make sure it's visible. So make sure that the column headers are always in bold. Always in bold. Just to give your report that appealing look. So always make sure it's bold. That is the column headers. So it makes it distinctive from uh, other cell contents. Hope we are together up to that point. So hope you've been wondering why such layout is important. And I've just described why. Whenever you are analyzing your data and you are using functions like lookups, like X lookup, V lookup, index, and match, if the names are not consistent, then you will struggle. So must make sure that everything is consistent. So and also having a correctly formatted report, it makes your the report's appearance to be clean and it's something that you can present to the stakeholders of the business. So always use same naming convention and also from time to time, if your call center data is like this, make sure the order is always consistent. If you started with agent name, staff ID, queue, it shouldn't be consistent on a day-to-day basis when you are doing your report. I hope that makes sense in terms of how you can align your data. So far we dealt with agent names. There are other instances whenever you are trying to deal with times. So times can be, we have login time. Login, logout time, logout time. See, you have also production time. You can have also date time, and be dealing with things to do with AHT, which is the duration, things to do with ACW, that is after call work, ACW, things to do. I'm just looking for where we have duration, ASA. So let's begin with login time. So we have here login time here as well. Whenever you are maybe typing or entering login time in any cell in Excel, avoid writing like this. This is not appropriate. Write 8 a.m. or you write something like this. Still under login, you type this is wrong. Type something like 8 a.m. So assuming this is a text, assuming this is a text, so whenever you are dealing with things to do with login, log out, shifts, also shift is here, agent shift. So avoid using this because whenever you use such things or such times, Excel doesn't recognize them. And you might run into trouble or whenever the times are not picking in Excel. So the approach is if you want to indicate login time, just write like this. Give it there. Immediately I write 8 a.m. this way. This is 8 semicolon 00. That is colon and then 00. Excel automatically recognizes that this is a date. This is a time. It's a time. Sorry, it's a time. So I want you to look at the formula. It's indicated that this is 8 a.m. That's the 8 a.m. shift, or the login time was 8 a.m. If it was 8:15, just write it this way. So it recognizes that this is 8:15 a.m. If it's 6 a.m., simply do this way. So Excel automatically knows that this is 6 a.m. So make sure that your times are consistent. So here in this table, my login time was that. Let's say the login time was 3 p.m. 3 p.m. is 15:00:00. I want you to see what is in the cell. See in the cell, it's 1500. But just look at how Excel has recognized that is 3 p.m. Just look at the formula bar. Where am I highlighting? This is 3 p.m. So are we writing 3 p.m. like this? When you write like this, it becomes 3 a.m. over on the same page. So here, let's say this agent logged at 5:30. So how will we write 5:30 here? So this it's 5:30 p.m. As I've shown, this is let's say this agent is logging in at 1800. So in Excel here, you can see it's recognizing these as 6 p.m. And then let's say this is 6:30. This will be 18:30. So this is 6:30 p.m. So hope you are wondering why this now. Because whenever you will be dealing with, or whenever you have exported data from other sources, you might find time like 8 a.m. is coming like 8 a.m. Like also, uh, assuming it's a text, assuming it's a text, so you might get data is coming in this form. Either you've exported this or imported this from an ACD system or from the CRM. So you have to convert them to be like this for you to be able to do proper analysis. Same concept applies to log out time. It should be in this format. Should be on this format. So that's how you can deal with the login times and the logout times. And then also whenever you are dealing with time or with agent sheets as well, same applies again. So an agent is logging in at the 6 a.m. shift. So 6 a.m. shift should be like this. 8 a.m. shift or 6 p.m. shift should look like this. Hope tuko pamoja hadi hapo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So avoid this kind of times. Simply put it this way, and you'll have easy time working with Excel. And then we have things to do with duration. You know, this is time. See, this is 6 a.m., 8 a.m., 3 p.m. Whenever you're dealing with things to do with AHT, always, it should be in seconds for you to be able to work with it. easily, unless you want to report it in terms of hours, minutes, and seconds, unless you want it in that form. But always convert it into seconds. So, because most call centers, when you are looking at AHT, for instance, when you are looking at an AHT of 4 minutes, so instead of writing 4 minutes, instead of writing maybe 4.25 minutes, instead of writing 4 minutes, 30 seconds, don't do this. 3 minutes, 50 seconds. This is a no, because you can't be able to analyze this data well if it is in this form. But rather, what should we do instead? Always, always convert this into seconds. Not unless you need it in the form of hours, minutes, and seconds. Not unless you need it in this form. So how can we be able to achieve HT in this form? First of all, let us begin with seconds. Like if it's 4 minutes, we know that it's 240 seconds. So we write it is 240. If this is 300 seconds, it's 150 seconds. If it's 200 seconds, if it's 250, if it's 120. So always it should be in this format. So with this, I know I can be able to analyze this well compared to where it is in this form. So another thing is whenever you are having HT in this form, this is in form of hours, minutes, and seconds, it's always advisable to convert it into a number like this again. So if you are having something like this, 4 minutes, so this is in the form of, we have to change the format. This is in the form of a duration. Should be, when I go to custom number format, this is duration. So it should be in that form. So you have to convert this to this, to numbers, that is in seconds. So how do we do that? We simply take this, multiply by 24. So multiplication in Excel, whenever you are multiplying two numbers, you simply hold down Shift key and then press on the star key. So it's normally on the 8 key, that is numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. On the number 8 on your keyboard. So just holding Shift and then 8. So that's multiplication. And then 24, Shift again, press 8, times that 600. So hope you know I have multiplied with that 600 so that it can be in this form, in number form. Yeah? So right now you are seeing 00. It's because we haven't changed into a number. So that is 240 seconds. You've seen how we've converted these 4 minutes into 240 seconds by multiplying it by 24. This is 24 hours, and then multiplying it by 3600, which is seconds. So I'm having it in this form. Yeah. So this form is better to go with also in terms of your analysis. So same applies to after call work. So whenever you're having after call work, or even as well, this is average speed of answer. So if it's 30 seconds, we write like this. So we know that this one is holding answer, but in seconds. In seconds. So that's 30, 40, let's say for instance, 40, 20, 10, 15, 15, 5. This is answer. So it's in seconds. So instead of having like 30 seconds, like in this form, this one, we can't be able to, yes, it's in the correct format, but now the analytics part can become inefficient. So this is 20 seconds. This is 20 seconds. So instead of writing it this way, it's rather we change it to this form. So hope we are together. Same thing applies to after call work as well. So this is also in seconds. I'm just taking random. So let me get rid of this. Also, whenever you are dealing with this time duration, you can decide to center them. Hope we had covered this. So always center them this way so that it appears nice and appealing. This one, center them. Also this we can center. So we've dealt with the times, both login, the logout times, production times, production time. Let me simply add it here. This one is best if it is in the form of hours, minutes, and seconds. So we can have, let's say 5 hours, can have 5 hours, 50 minutes, 30 seconds. So this should be duration. So come here to number format, you see it's duration. So duration, for if you are struggling maybe to know where you can format this, you simply come here under home tab and get here. You'll see this drop down here. Go to more number format, then come to custom, then navigate where we have hours, minutes, and seconds. Then click on OK. Yeah, so this log production time here is 5 hours, 50 minutes, and 30 seconds. Yeah, let's assume it's like that the moment just for illustration. So also this, center them so that it looks good. So things to do with the available time, same concept applies to like production time. Same concept applies also to like these other times as well because it's appearing in form of duration. But if this is confusing, to you, because this is the time the agent logged in, it's not like saying this is 15 hours, this is not 17 hours, this is not 18 hours. This is simply the time the agent logged in. So we can format this further by going here, the home tab, and then navigating to more number of formats. If it's time, we say it's time, but which format? Which format? So by default, you see it's this way, right? But you can decide whether the time format can be in this form, can maybe decide to select on this. So you see now how it looks like, right? This agent logged in at 6 a.m., 8:15, 3 p.m., 5:30 p.m., 6 p.m., and 6:30 p.m. But whenever you are writing it, don't write it this way. Write it the way I had shown you earlier, like 6 a.m., like that. So that is 6 a.m. But now when you want it to appear this way, you simply come to home, navigate here, then click here, then go to time, select this, and then change it like that. So you're having 6 a.m. in this form. Same applies to logout. So I'm utilizing the format paint. I hope you recall that lesson for format painting. I've just formatted this. I have format painted the format to this range of cells. So whenever you are dealing with data like calls, calls, calls handled, avoid writing like if it's 85 calls, don't write this way. So this just have a column, all calls. And then here you enter the number of calls like that. 50, 30, 40, 90. So those are number of calls. Enter them like that. Don't mix with letters or text. So that looks good. Then, if now you are dealing with adherence depends with how you are tracking it. Now, if we are tracking adherence as a percentage, avoid writing this. So whenever you are simply entering data, avoid writing it like this. Sorry. Things you should just avoid writing it like this. Don't write 90% like that. 80, then 50. Then you know what the mistake people do? They write it like that. And then they come to home. And then they change this to percentage. You see, it's ambiguous. It's giving 9,000, 8,000, 5,000, which is not the case. Or if you want to just write it in form of numbers, just write it like 0.9, 0.9 here. I have to put it in form of a text. Let me write it here. 0.9, 0.8, and then 0.5. So by doing this, even if you come here, even if you go to Home tab, and then you can either use this option, change to percentage, and you see now it has split, right? So percentages should always be formatted as such. So let's say this is 0.9, 0.8, 0.7. So time was here, no problem. 0.95, 0.885, 0.75. So after doing that, you highlight this, come to home, go to where we have percentage. And then we can align it to the center. The same concept applies to QA score. So QA score, let's say this is 50 and percent. We shouldn't write 50 like this. Writing that is wrong. Or write it 50 and then put a percentage like that. That will be more manual. So simply write if it's 50%, write 0.5. If it's 60, write 0.6. If it's 70, write 0.7. It's 90, write 0.9. If it's let's say 50 or 45, 0.45, 40, 0.40. And then highlight it. And then go here, format as a percentage, like that. So right now, you have a data set that is almost clean, consistent. The data types have been correctly been formatted. The times have been captured accurately, and they are also consistent. I can now even present this report. True or false? I can, because when we look at AHT, AHT is measured in seconds here, and it is in the number form. After call work, same thing. Answer, same thing. The login time has been formatted well. The logout time as well. Adherence also formatted well. QA scope and production time, all good. Edit name also well structured and formatted. So the data is now clean, and we can now go ahead with our analysis. After we've made sure that everything is clean and it's consistent, we can now go on with the analysis. Now let us begin with the headers for the report. The headers for the report should always be in bold and correctly formatted. And then one thing that I had mentioned, if you have column headers name or column names that are so long in that they are overrunning into other cells, you have to wrap them. So this, for instance, let's assume I do not have wrap. See, we have some cells that are some text that are overrunning into other cells. For instance, time. So production time is overrunning to column M. So what we should do is us to avoid such instances. So we have to wrap text. So we wrap it so that it can fit in that column. So after wrapping, we can choose to center the headers like that. We can choose maybe to apply a field, for example. We've applied field to these columns so that the reports looks nicer. And then here we have agent IDs. So another thing that I did not mention with regards to agent or staff ID, they should always be unique. So you should not have duplicate IDs. Hope we are clear up to that point. They should always be identical because they identify that. And then let's say this was the inbound queue, outbound. Let's just replicate this. So this we can also center. So but names we can decide to be left aligned or left indented. This is left indent. So you are having queues, these are strings. So if, for instance, this is one now, maybe you have a column for arrow here for totals. Totals or averages. Averages. Is what we are having. For totals. So Also make sure that whenever you're dealing with totals or averages, don't sum stuff ID. This is just a unique identifier. So you can find staff ID just to make it stand out. Let's say I'm giving it like that so that it appears unique. A00, A003, A004, not A005, A006, A006. So here you want to calculate the total of anything. Also here, you want to calculate anything. But here we can calculate number of calls. So if you want to calculate number of calls, we can use the sum function to sum this. This is common, sum. These are common functions that you might have come across. Also, AHT. How can we deal with AHT? Can we find the sum or average? AHT.
The average.
Very good. So that's average. So a formula begins with an equal sign. Don't forget that. So average AHT is 210. After call work, average again. After answer, that's average speed of answer. It's also an average of this. Hey, what about here? What's your opinion on this, Olivia? Login time.
Uh, just like the staff ID, I think it's also unique. We can leave it like that.
Very good. That's it. And logout time as well, right?
Yes.
So appearance, take an average, isn't it? US score,
Average.
an average. What about
Average.
remember duration?
So I think it's also average because we also need to know the average time for, yeah, for each agent, I think. Average productive.
Yeah, so whenever we are dealing with product, yes. So average production hours. So this is your report then. So from that dirty, messy data, you can come up with a billing report like this that you can share or you can present. So one more thing is on alignment. Alignment, the staff ID, we presented them as you can see here. A queue again, we entered it. So don't mix alignment. Like for instance, this you put it to be indent to the right. I'm just telling you common sense of what you should avoid. So how does it look like compared with the first? Can you present this report to your manager this way?
Nah.
So even though the metrics are accurate, how you present your data matters a lot. It's like your what can I call it? Your outward appearance, right? So yes, you have content in your mind or in your head, but you are dressed shaggily. That is the term. So that is how this report looks like. Yes, the contents are perfect and accurate, but now the way it's being presented is not appealing. So same, you can have a good report, an appealing report, but what is inside is not accurate. So it's good to achieve both accuracy in terms of the contents and also the report layout. We are okay up to that point. So let's center this to make this report look nice. So in this, for instance, yes, the report is ready. But now, assuming this is a KPI report, let's take for an instance. We expect all agents, whether they are handling inbound or outbound calls, they should meet a target of at least 70 calls per day or during their shift. How can we do that? We also have to add formatting as well. So here in calls, we can highlight calls, go home to the home tab where we have conditional formatting. Navigate to where we have new rules. For new rules, we want to set a condition in that for those agents who have done more than 70 calls in a day, the text should be green or the number should be green. And for those who are either between 50 to 70, it should be, let's say, amber. And below 50, it should be red. So how can we achieve that? Come to home, conditional formatting, new rule. So because we are formatting cells, we have to choose format only cells that contain, and then we have You see here where we have format only cells with, we have this aka drop down here. What are you formatting? Are you formatting cell values? Are you formatting specific text? Are you formatting dates? Are you formatting blanks? Are you formatting where we have no blanks? Are you formatting errors or where we have no errors? So you have to choose. If you are formatting values, you simply, by default, it is value. So you select value. What are the conditions? So by default, it's between, but when you click on this drop down, you'll see other options as well. Between, not between, equal to, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. So what do we want? We want greater than 90. How do we want to format? We want to format the font. Remember, apart from formatting the font, you can decide to format the border only or the fill. Fill will apply the fill color to the cell, but font will change the font color of the cell. So by default, we've gone with font. So we want, if that is true, we want it to be green. You don't know why it hasn't picked that. So it's condition, new rule, greater than 70. I did not put greater than 70 here. Now, agents have more than 70 calls been formatted green, right? Same applies here. Like we can do the same new rule, cells that contain less than 70. Let's say this time we go with amber or orange. Orange. And then less than 50 should be red or less than 40. Cells contain less than 40. Red. So you see now we are adding something to the report. Now it's communicating. So we can do the same for HT. So we want HT of less than 240, less than or equal to 240, be green, like this. Anything greater than that, anything greater than 240, greater than 240, it should be red. After call work, let's say after call work, I apply the same rule. Hope you've seen the procedure. So for answer, let's do this for answer. new rule. So less than or equal to 20 seconds should be green. Greater than 20 seconds lesser than 20 should be red. What's your opinion on this? Can we format this? Log in and log out?
Yes,
Yes.
according to the login time. So let's say the first shift which should start at 6. So anything past 6, red. Anything past 8 a.m., red again.
Yeah, so by this is dependent because it's dependent on the shift start time. So if now we have the shift start time, like a shift start time for 8 a.m. and an agent logs in at 8:15, anything past that will be red, right? Anything at or before that will be green. So, but for now, given that we just have the login time and not the shift, we leave it at the moment. So, let's go to adherence. So, how can we format this? So, we go to home, condition format, new rule. Let's say greater than, let's say 80%.
85.
Okay, can we can undo that. Five, then we can format that as screen. So anything new rule cells that contain so less than 85%. Let's say orange. Anything less than let's say 75%. And 75% to simply give it red. Well, there's a logic that we need to follow there. So let me simply clear it. Okay, it was supposed to be less than. Oh no, this wasn't picked, but the thing is, the procedure, right? Okay, so format this, that. I've just applied the same because it's the same process. So let's go to
So
login
that
time.
not PK85. I think it's because you do not, you are not very specific with the rule. It should be
Yes,
equal or greater than.
Yes, that's it. That's it. Thanks for picking up on that. That's exactly the issue. So let's go here on conditional format for production time. So production time greater than or equal to. How do we put hours? Let me say 7. Anything less than that stretch. Less than that is red. Then this way. So here, and simply format paint. Now what we'll do is here, here, this will leave it, but here you can format paint. Hope you are seeing how I'm using the format painter. It makes my work easy. I've just chosen that so that these ones are visible. Now our report is ready, but uh, what is missing? What do you think is missing in this report?
The headline, what do we call it? The heading.
Oh, it's not picking anyway, but that was the issue. So you remember when I told you you can merge cells? Hope you remember that lesson.
Yes.
So this we can say it is agent, let's say daily, daily agent performance. I just, yeah, performance report. Maybe let me simply do this. We take it here, and then from here, I merge it. So suppose it's a daily report, I can say this is cost today minus 1, today minus 1. So this is yesterday's report. And the date format is this. This is 23rd of November. So we can also sign
24th. Oh, hii sasa ni ya jana.
Minus one.
I'm just in contact center, like you see, I can't report the report for today because it's a 24-hour. So after midnight is when now I can report today's report. That is tomorrow. I'll report them for the 24th. You get it? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's normally like that. So see this. This is the header is bolded, the report title. Then let's do this. You can put the borders. You remember the topic for borders? When we were going through the menu bar, the home, the ribbon.
Yeah.
Hope you remember. So you can decide on the borders depending on what you like. So long as it keeps your report neat. Then, so we know this is performance report. So this, what I've done to the title is I've just centered it. So I've centered it using this. So apart from that, but avoid using so many colors. If you decide on a field, it should just be a smooth one, a very light one. Help me to choose. Tell me which is better.
That one.
How about
For
this one?
Yeah.
This one? This one?
The blue, the shade of blue, that one.
Let me just. Blue, which blue are you saying? This one?
No, no, top, up, that one.
This one, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the report looks good. But if I add some inner borders, I don't know what will be the effect. Does that make it any better, or I should just leave it without the borders?
Use the borders.
The
I
continuous,
include the
the
borders, or
continuous, not
Include them.
do you want the dotted one or the continuous one?
You could try the continuous ones.
continuous one.
Looks better.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing is you remember how you can adjust the row height? If we adjust the row here to 25. What if we make here also 25? Hope you see how you can adjust the row height. I'm just illustrating so that you can see. So you can highlight these all rows and then right click, row height. Yes, what if I put 15? Row height, if I put 18. Looks nice, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But there was no way the header could have been also bordered.
Yeah, it can be bordered. We can. So just a moment.
Also, if you can have the totals with a different fill color from the different from the inner ones.
You tell me, or I go to more.
Bado umependa hiyo more.
You can maintain the purple
No.
one so that you do not have so many colors. Ni kama tuko painting class.
Yeah, also whenever you're doing report, also you should pay attention to that. Don't use so many colors.
Yeah.
Don't. So you said borders for this, headers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you want continuous borders or
Just
this?
continuous inner borders.
Yeah, we've included them. So that's how your report looks like. And it's something that you can present, and it's neat. And so that's what I wanted us to achieve today. At least you've seen how this is working in practice, not only in theory. So whenever you're having a data set, or let's say in this scenario, a contact center data set, it normally comes in a very bad format, very dirty data. You have to clean it, have to refine it before you can come up with a report like this. At the behind the scenes, you've really done a lot of work in terms of cleaning your data and making sure that everything is consistent. So what the audience sees is just the final output, but the work that you've put behind it in terms of data manipulation and transformation is really big. So you must know how to go around the various data sets and how to fix them so that you have a data is so from so what I've covered is essentially this. I've covered all of this. What I'm taking you through here, what I'm showing you right now, we've just covered. It's just that I chose to demonstrate here. Even wrap text, I think we've covered that. Yeah, we are done. We've covered what we were supposed to cover today. So tomorrow we will introduce call logs and CRM exports and tickets, how the data for call center looks like. I think we've had a brief introduction about it. So we will now dig deeper. And after that, after understanding call center data, we will go through what is called data cleaning, which was part of the foundation of week two training. That is data cleaning. So in data cleaning, we've just looked at just a few functions in Excel that can be used to clean the data. So you've seen how we've used upper, how we've used lower, and also how we've used proper. So this week we'll be dealing mostly with how can we be able to clean various data types so that before you can come up with an output like this, there is work behind the scene, right? And the work behind the scene involves these formulas or these functions that are used in data cleaning. So it's good to do all of them so that no matter the kind of data you are presented with, you can be able to clean it and come up with a report. Hope on the same page up to that point.
Yes.
Yes, so that's what we'll cover. Let me just stop presenting.
Did you stop
And also,
recording?
yes, I want to stop the recording. Let me stop the recording.